You know, I've been looking at this man, Sheikh Gumi. Do you know that Sheikh Gumi was a retired military officer in Nigeria, a retired military general? Do you know that his son is currently also in the system, in the military system in Nigeria? So, you know, I was just thinking, if we have those that are supposed to protect us, those that are supposed to protect the territorial integrity of this country, being radicalized with such extremist ideologies, and they find their way into the Nigerian military, the question is, how many of them are still in the system? Recall that Jonathan once said that Boko Haram has invaded his cabinet or his administration, and we all waved it as if it's something to be waved. If we have people like Sheikh Gumi now, that was once a military officer, what damage has he left in the military? Or how much is our military polluted, or how much polarized has our military become with these radical extremisms? You see, Nigeria don't enter one chance. So I'm telling you the truth. I swear, Nigeria don't enter one chance, because discussing Nigeria cannot be exhausted in one day. So all these social media contents we are doing is just to point us to certain aspects that needs us to think. To fight terrorism in this country, like I said in my previous videos, we must get to the root cause where these ideologies are springing from. To get to uproot terrorism from Nigeria, people like Sheikh Gumi should not be roaming free. Pantami, Matawale. The sad thing about this country is that we all know them. Everybody knows them. So the investigatory aspect of it is taken care of. So what are we afraid of? Who is really in charge? Why are these people untouchable? I beg, US, I beg, if na fuel, now I not get for fuel. Tell me make I buy una fuel. You people are delaying. Abi, una come make I buy fuel for an aeroplane. You guys are taking too much time. This nonsense has stayed for too long. Trump, if you don't get money for fuel, tell me make I buy fuel for you wanna come sharp and clear this nonsense of this country.
You see, are you not wondering why is it that the northern Nigerian politicians, they are quiet about the terrorism that is taking place in the northern part of Nigeria? The Fulani terrorism that is happening every day in the northern part of Nigeria. All these people are not talking. They are simply comfortable with it. Atiku is not talking anything. Kwankwaso is quiet. El-Rufai is comfortable with it. Shetima, is doing as if he doesn't know what is going on. They are all pretending actors. They are pretending as if nothing is happening in the north. Instead, they are weaponizing what is going on in the north against Nigerian government. That it is the fault of Nigerian government not to curb it, not to stop it. That if it were to be them that is ruling, they will have stopped it. No, they won't stop it because these people know what is going on. The reason why they are not talking about this thing is because they are Fulani people. All these people are Fulanis. All of them, they are Fulanis. They are Fulani expansionists. It has always been their agenda to expand their territory. It has always been their agenda to enslave people in their own land. You see, these people came into Nigeria in 17th century. Until today, they have subdued and they have colonized the Hausa people. To the extent that Hausa people has now become a slave in their own land under the influence and auspices of the Fulanis. The same people now, the Fulanis, they are now spreading their tentacles to take over other people's territory. And you cannot challenge them because they will tell you they have the power, they have the means. If you try to defend yourself against these people, they will fight you. Why? Because they have infiltrated our government, they have infiltrated our military, our force. They are everywhere. To make it worse, they have the full backing of UK, in particular UK and some European nations. who keep supporting these people, who keep praising them, applauding them for what they're doing, telling us that yes, they are structured, they know how to pilot government. No, I'm asking. That is why you see BBC is not talking about what is going on in the northern part of Nigeria. The mass execution that is happening there, Christian genocide that is happening in the north, BBC will never report it. You will never see one day that the UK, condemn what is going on in the northern part of Nigeria. Why? Because they are in full support of what is going on. It's as simple as that. The only two countries talking about this thing is US and Israel. The rest European nations, they are deaf and dumb. They are not talking about it. Don't worry, it's a matter of time. Just be pushing your agenda. Continue pushing that Islamization agenda. Continue pushing that globalization agenda. Don't worry, with time, we break out of this nonsense. There are two ways I'm looking at. It's either we face ourselves and stop this nonsense and put an end to it once and for all, or Nigeria break apart. Stay your lane and let me stay my lane. Because you cannot come to my land now to come and enslave me in my own land and I'll be looking at you. It will not happen. It will never happen. So keep pushing it. All this nonsense will be stopped. Keep abducting people, keep kidnapping people. After they have paid you ransom, you will still unalive them. That is why they are not talking about it. That is why they are quiet, because it has always been about Islamization of Nigeria.
Either in Nigeria or all over the world, there are 5 stages of Islamization. Number 1 is movement. Now this movement is divided into 2, either by migration or by invasion. So they come to and they migrate to a new settlement, and in the process of that migration, when they come there, they look so peaceful. They are not violent. When they migrate to a new society, that is why you see that they say, these people are loving, these people are kind, these people are peaceful. They migrate. And that's why you find that is happening in the whole of Europe today. They are moving at an accelerated rate, migrating. The second part of that movement, or the second way it can happen, is through invasion. Meaning that they come, conquer the people, fight them, destroy them, and take over their territory. This is what we saw when the Fulanis invaded by Usman Dan Fodio, when they invaded the Hausa land in the north. I hope you know that are indigenous Hausa people. The Gobirs. Is it the Kabawa or something like that? They are indigenous Hausa people. They were conquered by Dan Fodio. So that is by invasion. They come, they invade. So they invaded the north, conquered the north, and they took hold of the north. But they have not been what they are doing in other parts of Nigeria is by migration. What you see that is happening in Europe today is by migration. So they will go there, settle down there. But at that time, they look so peaceful. You look at them, you say, these people are loving and kind. But there's an agenda. The second stage is population. At the first stage, they are not much, so they look so peaceful. The second stage is to ensure that they become about 40 to 50% of the population of that nation. So they begin to multiply, give birth to 5 children, 7 children, have as many as 5 wives, 4 wives. You think it's by play? No. It's an agenda to ensure that they are the most populous in that place. That's why today you hear them say the north is very populous. Parents give birth to children they cannot cater for. But there's an agenda just to ensure that they are the most populous. Are you learning? So at that stage, the next stage, once they have been able to settle, the next thing they begin to do is to ensure that they are the majority. So they begin to increase in population, reproducing and reproducing, bringing in their colleagues, bringing in their family from different parts to ensure that they overwhelm that place with number. To ensure that there are about 40-50% of population in that place. That is stage 2. Some 20 years ago, 30 years ago, if you go to the UK, you find very little Muslims. Very little. Some 20-25 years ago, if you go to the UK, you find very little mosque. But today, there are thousands of mosques in Europe. In UK, in Canada, there are thousands of them. So when they are coming, when they come, they are so peaceful in stage 1. But in stage 2, the moment they know that they begin to gain number, then that is when their agenda begins to go into place. So the second stage is that they multiply. Then when that has happened, then they move to the third stage. What is the third stage? The third stage is to position themselves in power, in government, in the military, strategic positions, strategic places. Are you with me? That's why if you go to Abuja now, and you go to federal government parastatals, you see almost everywhere, malams everywhere. Malams everywhere. Position themselves in military, overwhelm the military in number. The Northerners are the most in the military today. But army, air force, police, whatever it is, they are more in number. So they position themselves in strategic position in government. They begin to gain power. That was how they did it in Turkey. They begin to gain power. That was how they did it in Lebanon. But there's an agenda. And I pity UK. I pity Europe. Because when their agenda is fully materialized, what is happening in Nigeria will be a chance play to them there. Today you have cities and colonies and cities in Europe that are governed by Muslims, by Arabs. You think they're trying to be liberal. The Europe is playing political correctness, but they have no idea what they're doing.
They are all silent jihadists. They are sponsoring these radical ones to carry out their evil. That's why they don't come out to condemn their actions. They will never condemn their actions because it is an agenda. It is a plan. They are carrying out their plans. So they are comfortable with what the bandits are doing to innocent Nigerians. That's why they will never condemn their actions.
Islam forbids corruption. Islam warns the Ummah, that is the Islamic community, against anyone who use religion to cover bloodshed. So, if our northern leaders are really good Muslims, why did these people break every Islamic rules of leadership? Among these northern leaders, one name stand out: Sheikh Ahmed Gumi. And today we are going to talk about who Gumi really is. Now, before I proceed, I want to say this. Sheikh Ahmed Gumi, you have walked into the forest many times, but today the forest is looking back at you. Nigerians has watched your pattern. Saudi Arabia has watched your pattern. The world has watched your pattern. You build your influence in silence, but today silence is no longer your shelter. Understand this clearly. No man who legalized terror escape the rock of truth. Your blueprint is no longer hidden. Your methods are no longer mysterious. Your alliances is no longer invisible. You became the voice of men with guns, but now Nigeria is becoming the voice against your deceit. This message is not a threat. It is a mirror. Look at it very well and see yourself clearly, because we have seen you and your script is finished. From childhood, Gumi grow up inside power, not money power, not political power, now ideological power. Ahmed Gumi was born the same day Nigeria got their independence. That was 1st of October 1960 in Kano State. Ahmed Gumi attended Sadwana Memorial College for his secondary school education. Afterward, he gained an admission into Madibelo University, where he studied medicine. After graduating, Gumi was enlisted into the Nigeria Defense Academy and he served as a medical officer. He attended the rank of a captain before he retired. By then, he had already have a deeper exposure to military structure, their operation, and their strategy. Now, after leaving the army, he traveled to Saudi Arabia. This is where Gumi transformation started from. Gumi got a role into Akura University, where he was exposed to deeper Islamic rules and laws, global Islamic politics, and Islamic ideological power shaping Africa. Now, people don't understand the importance of those things when Gumi they exposed to. Saudi Arabia is where you learn how Islamic influence operate on a global level. Now, after the whole study in Saudi Arabia, Gumi returned back to Nigeria. But at that time, he was not just an Islamic preacher anymore. He was now a product of two systems, a military mind plus a religious identity. That combination is rare, dangerous, and powerful in the north. Now, after he came back from the Saudi Arabia, he became a teacher in the Nigeria Defense Academy. So, with all this knowledge, where Gumi gathered from Saudi and Nigeria Academy, he started doing preaching work. He was doing some daily Tafa program, preaching religion. So, this man started coming on air, start doing some charity work. So, people call them see him as public figure, so he call them gain followers. Now, many of these armed group that is in the forest, the X-Men, the Boko Haram, all those people, they don't listen to this man preaching, to his program. So, they always see this man as a father. Now, why is he say many of them, they respect us so much? Because this bandit will never trust a certain politician, a Christian leader, or a military officer. But you see Gumi, Gumi mirror these people. They can see their self in him. Now, here is where it become more tough. Within the northern Nigeria, there is a quiet, massive competition going on. A competition for religious dominance, political influence, control of armed groups. So, for Gumi, becoming the man that can talk to bandits, make Gumi itself a power structure outside politics, because that will give him influence, relevance, funding, and political leverage. So every time bandits strike again, Gumi become important again. That is why he defends them publicly, because he strengthens his role as a negotiator. Know this, bandits are not just criminals, they are a force, and whosoever influences them owns power. Now listen carefully, this is the part people don't know about him yet. Gumi has an agenda independently of everyone around him, and his agenda is bigger than bandits, bigger than government, bigger than Nigeria. Gumi is trying to become the ideological godfather of northern bandits, but without openly identifying himself as a jihadist. That is why when Gumi traveled to Saudi to perform the Hajj pilgrimage, despite having a valid visa, he was denied entry. You should ask yourself, why a country that welcomed me before suddenly marked him as red flag? Because Saudi intelligence saw what Nigeria has refused to see. The danger here is not that Gumi speak to bandito. Anyone can talk to anyone. The danger is that Gumi defines them. He creates the language around them. He gives them an identity beyond crime, and that is dangerous, because narrative build legitimacy, and legitimacy build power. I know some of you might be wondering why they never arrest this man, because if Gumi should be exposed, names go come out. The name what we no ever expect for this country, all of them will come out. That is why the government are playing safe. So this is the overview of who Gumi is. Because now, bandits don't they give order, make police arrest politicians. They will not fall to these people trouble, because that is the agenda they want to set to Nigeria. So it should not be carried away with these people plan. How we respond, we now determine our fate to know where we belong to, and for bandits to know where they will belong to. That is it all for now.
Good day to our viewers all over the world, and welcome back to Look at Journal. Most times I sit and ask myself why these people in the other side of the divide, I mean the people from the north, especially those ones practicing Islam, why they hate peace and detest peace. I don't know why a peaceful environment, a peaceful enclave is a problem to them. Can't we just live in peace without having to hurt each other? Why would you be struggling over something you never created? The religion you're practicing today was never invented or established by you or your forefathers. It was something that was brought into Nigeria by foreigners, and you accepted it and you're living by it today. So why don't you just focus on it and do it to the best of your knowledge? Why would you want to kind of coerce other people who doesn't have any belief in that religion to believe in that religion? Why would you want to use an act, or you want to use terror to force people into believing the same thing you believe? There is no way you would want to force people to believe what they are not interested in just because you feel like it's the proper way to go. You don't fight for God. Look at the way this country is today. This is not the way Nigeria is supposed to be. But because of these people, because of the wickedness and because of the terror these people abhor against every other region, we can see that underdevelopment is the order of the day. Look at their lives in the north. Their lives in the north is rubbing on other people, other regions in Nigeria, and that's the reason why you see that Nigeria is labeled as the poverty capital of the world. especially the northern Nigeria. They lack education, they lack access to good living, they lack access to basic amenities, but yet they are enchanted in religion. They are so deep and so engrossed in their religious belief, whereas this whole thing has not brought them any development and has not brought them any achievement to that their region. Rather, their leaders have continued to blindfold them, to make them subservient and servants to them forever. They wouldn't see this, but they are doing everything to bring terrorism to Nigeria. They are doing everything to ensure that there is no peace in the whole of Nigeria. How long can we continue living in this mess if something is not done? And that is the reason why I keep on emphasizing on the need for a two-state creation in Nigeria, because if these two states are created, the South can go one place and they can stay in one place to practice their primitive kind of religion, because these people are not human and they cannot live with other Nigerians the way these guys are operating. Look at what just happened yesterday or the day before yesterday in Kwara State, where so many people, over 200 people, were unalived by these Islamic militias. How long will we continue to experience such a heinous act? How long? It's so pathetic and it's so painful. The government needs to do something about these people and bring their leaders, their sponsors, and their financiers to justice, because if this continues like this, we are turning into something worse than Afghanistan. This is my opinion. Drop what you think about this in the comment section, and if today is your first time to visit our channel, please kindly like, share and subscribe to our channel.